Do you want to film this? Yeah. It may cut out because I don't know how much. Okay, here we go.
I'll get this in its right place.
Okay. We'll edit this one just a little bit. Okay, so let's put it down. There we go. Can we maybe push the screen up a little bit? Yeah, that's good. Alright. So you guys ready for this demo? Alright. So, say at lunch today, you eat a sandwich. So we're going to model the digestion, what happens when you are digesting that sandwich in lunch. So in order to help me model this, I have some bread. I'm not going to put in the meat and the lettuce because that would make it way too messy. Okay, so I'm going to take 3 slices of bread, and where's that first place where you're going to put these slices of bread?
Your mouth.
In your mouth, right? Okay. Well, but this is, remember, it's a model, so it's not going to be perfect. It doesn't look exactly the same. Alright, so now we have our bread in our mouth. And we're also, okay, what is the first thing that you do when you put food in your mouth?
You chew it.
Okay, so in my mouth, I have my textbook, which is going to be my teeth, and okay, right? Well, it's broken. Okay, so I chewed it a few times, whacked the stash off of it. Okay, so what else is in your mouth that helps you digest?
Water. How long have you been collecting your spit?
Is it just water?
How long were you
This is a year's worth of saliva.
Water.
What's the term? Saliva.
And what's in the saliva that's helping us digest this?
Okay, excuse me. How long were you salivating in that cup?
I'm like Pavlov. Every time that you ring that bell, every tardy bell, every absence bell, I've been salivating. Okay? So now it's in my mouth, and there we go.
Continuing to chew.
Continuing to chew. Right? It's alright. But now it doesn't stay in your mouth. Well, it ultimately want to go?
Our stomach.
Our stomach. Okay, so what I'm going to do, okay, so, well, it's got to leave our mouth, so I'm going to go ahead and cut the corner of this bag. So what tube does it have to go down in order to enter my stomach? My esophagus, right? Okay, so just like what we were talking about with the muscles, okay, we actually have muscle contractions that are helping us move the food down our esophagus into our stomach. And we call this peristalsis. Kind of nasty, isn't it? Yeah. You'll see in just a second. Yeah, so we're plopping it down into the bag.
Oh, gross. That's gross.
Alright.
And the food is out of the mouth.
Alright, so the food is now gone through our esophagus and is now in our stomach. But what's in our stomach that's going to help us digest this even more?
Enzymes?
It has, okay, so we do have enzymes in our stomach which work in stomach acid. So I'm adding this Coke, which, by the way, Coke is acidic. One of the reasons you should not drink soda. All right, I'll put all the stomach acid in there. I have a lot of acid problems. All right. Okay. So now what I'm doing, my bread in here. My stomach is actually contracting my food. So this is what, again, we're undergoing peristalsis. Okay? And it speeds up the process of digestion by breaking down food particles. All right. So does this look like a solid ball of food anymore? No, we've broken this down into our molecules. Okay. So this is where things get a little bit tricky, and I'm not sure if I can do this just right. Okay. All right. Okay. So now. Okay. So now our food is leaving from our stomach.
Let's put on our gloves.
Yeah, we're gonna put on our gloves because this is about to get real nasty. Now let's hope. Okay, good. So where is our food gonna go now that it's left the stomach?
No, we are using food handling gloves.
Yeah, right. Which intestine is it gonna enter first?
The big intestine.
The small intestine. Small intestine first.
Small before it gets big.
See, we started at the mouth, the stomach. Next, we're going to the small intestine.
Okay.
This is the toe.
Okay. So this is what we call the messy soup of digesting. So we call this chyme.
Chyme.
Chyme. Okay. So it is entering our small intestine. So, and you see how we have liquid that is all going in there. Now, yeah, so go ahead and lift that up. You can see it's nice and moist and juicy, okay? But we have a problem here. We have stomach acid in there too, okay? We don't want that stomach acid to be causing us to have all sorts to eat away at our linings of our small intestine. So what we need to do is neutralize it using substances from the pancreas. Okay, so our baking soda.
Are you recording this because you're going to show your other classes there, so we don't have to do this like so many times?
Do this.
Right. So you guys are going to see it live in action.
Okay.
All right. So now that we have neutralized that, now what we're going to do, our gallbladder is now adding bile. So that's what makes you throw up, by the way. Bile is the stuff that makes you throw up. So we're adding some bile into this mix. And that's going to help break down the lipids in our food, or what we call the fats. Okay? So our carbohydrate digestion started in our mouth. Our lipid breakdown really starts in the small intestine. Okay. Now, so what we're going to do, our food, now that it's been neutralized, and we start breaking down our fats, we're going to start going through peristalsis. So what is, bless you. What is peristalsis?
Squeezing. Contracting.
It's the
Squeezing
Oh,
contraction.
we're going to squeeze it off.
we are going to squeeze it out. And where are we going to squeeze it out to?
The anus.
Okay,
Well,
but what's
first-
between the small intestine and the anus?
Large
Okay, but what's between the small intestine and the anus?
intestine.
Okay, so here we are in the large intestine. The small intestine was over there.
Okay. All right. So now, our food is entering our large intestine. And our large intestine's job is really to absorb the remaining liquids, which this demo didn't quite work. Okay.
And then it goes through the large intestine. Is that where it stops?
So actually the last part of the large intestine is what we call the duodenum. So that's really where our waste gets created. All right. So are you guys ready?
Yo!
Wow. They're supposed to do that in the restroom.
Now remember that this process usually takes about 24 hours
So I'm
to
doing it
complete.
right now.
And it also
That's all.
includes helpful bacteria that we did not include in ours. Sometimes those helpful bacteria can make odors.
Mm-hmm. All right. So,
Where does the smell come from?
where does the smell come from?
It's bacteria.
It's the soap. Oh, the smell, it's from the bacteria, actually. That's why newborn poop doesn't smell bad, because they haven't gotten all that intestinal bacteria yet. Yeah. All right.